Was good, y'all? Rich Sosa back in the building, man, and today I am bringing y'all another rare build. Today I am going to be bringing y'all the well-rounded guard. Now, honestly, when it comes to these stats, they truly remind me of Michael Jordan. Now, I know for sure that there are going to be better and different versions of Michael Jordan that you can make. So that is why I am bringing y'all two different versions of this specific build. And honestly, in my opinion, this build is going to be super nice when it comes to the badge setup. Coming from the name that we do get, a lot of these well-rounded builds tend to be weak in certain areas. But with this kind of well-rounded guard, we are going to be able to get that 99 driving dunk. We are also going to be getting those pro dribble moves. And on top of that, y'all, we maintain the elite defense. So before we get into the banger, man, y'all already know what y'all need to do. Be sure to hit that sub button if you're new. And do not forget to turn on post notice so y'all can catch tomorrow's banger as well. Now, let's go ahead and get into the making of this build. The first thing that we're going to be going to do is putting this build under the shooting guard position. Now, when it comes to the height, weight, and wingspan, I'm going to be real with y'all. These are adjustable, but honestly, the way that I went about making this build, in my opinion, is going to be perfect, y'all. So what you want to go ahead and do is put this build at 6'7". It's not going to be too tall, nor will it be too small. Now, when it comes to the weight, I personally feel like you could go with 209, or you could go with the lowest. The first version of this build, I'm going to be bringing y'all the one with the lowest weight. So I'm going to be going with 183 and the wingspan is going to be 7'4". Keep in mind, we are going to be going back to change up the weight and showing y'all the second version of this build. So what you want to go ahead and do when it comes to the driving layup and the driving dunk, put both of these up to a 94, and we're going to leave it at that. If you put either of these to a 95, you're going to change up the build name to a slasher, and that is what we don't want. When it comes to the post control, go ahead and put this to a 79. That's going to give you 15 finishing badges right there. So when it comes to the finishing side of things, I feel like this really represents MJ. Let's go ahead and get into the shooting now. Go ahead and put both your mid-range and your three-pointer to an 82. When it comes to the free throw, put this to an 86, and that's going to give you 12 badges. So far, so good. So let's go ahead and get into the playmaking. The thing about this build is that you cannot go over the 79 pass accuracy or ball handle. So go ahead and put your pass accuracy to a 78, ball handle at 79, and the speed with ball at 87. That's going to give us 12 playmaking badges. So let's go ahead and get into the defense now. When it comes to the interior, put this to a 51. Perimeter is going to be a 66. I know for an MJ build, we should be maxing this out, but with this build, you cannot go over a 66. If you do, you're going to change up the build name, and that's what we don't want. But we do maintain the elite defense on the steal and the blocking side of things. Both of these are going to be maxed out. Now, when it comes to the physicals, we're going to have an 87 speed. Acceleration is going to be 84. This version of the build will not have any strength, but the second one will. So do not worry. If you want the one with more strength, go ahead and stick around. When it comes to the vertical, we're obviously maxing that out at 91. And then when it comes to the stamina, we want to maintain at least a 60. For the takeovers, it's all based on your preference. But this version of the build, as y'all can see, we have made the well-rounded guard. But let's go ahead and take a quick look at what I would make in my personal opinion. I wanted to bring y'all two different versions, so go ahead and rewind if you need to, but let's go ahead and get into the most and better overall version that I found of the well-rounded guard. So I'm going to be going with the weight of 209, specifically for being that strength at 72. Once you get that gym rat badge and grind this build out to 99, it's going to be a +8. So honestly, that is what I wanted to maintain. We're going to go ahead and put everything on the finishing side, the same exact thing. One adjustment you can make is putting the 79 post control to an 80. So if you want to do that, you definitely can do so. When it comes to the shooting, go ahead and put your mid-range as well as your three-pointer both to an 82. But for this version, we're going to put the free throw to a 94. Now for this version of the build, it's much better overall. We do get the 14 shooting badges. Then when it comes to the playmaking side, you have to go ahead and put your ball handle to a 79, pass accuracy to a 75, and right here we get 10 for the playmaking. But on the defensive side, we still do get the 18. The physicals are still just as, if not they are much better than the first build. And on top of that, we are going to be able to play center with this build with that 72 strength. We're not going to have to worry about getting bullied down low. So honestly, in my opinion, that is why I feel like this version of the build is much more better, but also much more versatile. So when it comes to the takeovers, we get the slashing, shot creating, sharpshooting, and then we get the playmaking, y'all. So in my opinion, these are honestly some really nice takeovers. The one that I would pick first, in my opinion, if it's going to be able to get your takeover quicker and your team takeover, I would go with finishing moves. The second one is all based on your preference. I would go with spotter precision just to be more effective on the offensive side of things. And as y'all can see, we have made the legit well-rounded guard. I love this version of the build much more better just because of the weight, but honestly the badge setup, in my opinion, is one that is much more in my favor. Now let's go ahead and take a quick look at some of these main stats once we get to 99. So we will essentially have a 99 driving layup and a driving dunk. Post control will be in the high 80s. When it comes to the shooting, you're going to get +4 and add another +5 when you do buy shooting boost. So you're going to be just fine when it comes to the shooting. Ball handle, we will get an 80 once we get to 96 overall. So that unlocks the pro dribble moves. And then when it comes to the defense, we will get that 99 steal and block. And then the physicals get a +8, y'all. So honestly, in my opinion, this definitely has to be one of the better rare builds that I have brought to y'all. Go ahead and drop a like right now. I want y'all to come through tomorrow as well for the next banger that I'm going to be bringing to y'all. But let's go ahead and get into these badges now. The first one I'm going to put on is going to be gold quick first step as well as Hall of Fame handles for days. From here, you could go with a couple different badges. You could go with unpluckable or bailout or even special delivery. It comes down to y'all, but I would highly recommend keeping this badge on Hall of Fame. Do what you got to do to maintain that, but let's go ahead and get into the next set of badges, which is going to be for the shooting. So we got 14 badges that we're going to be able to work with. The first one that we definitely need to put on is going to be Hot Zone Hunter on gold. From here, another badge that I feel like is going to really help us out is going to be Clutch Shooter. Go ahead and leave that on bronze. From there, also put on Catch and Shoot on gold. And then the rest of the way, you could go with bronze corner specialist as well as green machine. With the last remaining 5, if you're considering about being more of a post control player, go ahead and put on Fade Ace. But if not, I feel like we should all definitely consider deep threes. You could even upgrade any of the badges that we already have on. But let's go ahead and get into the next set of badges, which is going to be the finishing. So first, what I'm going to throw on here is going to be Posterizer on Hall of Fame. Another badge that I feel like we need to decide between is going to be Heat Seeker as well as Highlight Film. Heat Seeker, in my opinion, I like it more because it helps me control my takeover more and how fast I can get it. If you do decide to go with Highlight Film, that's another really good option as well. From here, I'm going to go with Bronze Lob City Finisher as well as Silver Acrobat. And the last badge I'm going to put on is going to be Slithery Finisher on Hall of Fame. If you want to change up anything about this setup, go ahead and do so. But let's go ahead and get into the last category, which is going to be the defense. So what you want to go ahead and do right here, first things first, put on the most important badges that we want to use. So of course, I'm going to go ahead and put on Rim Protector. Next, you have to go ahead and put on Intimidator. The rest of the way, we got 10 badges to work with, so you could spread the wealth, or you could go with all of the Hall of Fame badges that you possibly can do. In my opinion, I like to spread the wealth, but if you want to, I would definitely consider Bronze Chase Down Artist. Another badge that I really like for this build is going to be Pickpocket, but honestly, you could even consider Silver Ankle Braces. I'm also going to put on Interceptor on Bronze, and then from here, we got 6 remaining badges. So I'm going to go ahead and leave that option up to y'all. You could follow along if you want to, but I just want to say thank y'all so much for watching this entire video through, and thank y'all to the Rich Gang family and anybody new. But man, I already got another video dropping for y'all tomorrow, so be sure to stay tuned for that. Thank y'all again. But man, y'all already know what y'all need to do. Be sure to hit that sub button if you're new. To the Rich Gang family as well as any new supporters, be sure to run up those likes. It helps me out so much. Share this banger with your family and friends. And last but not least, turn on post notice so y'all can catch me in tomorrow's banger. Man, with all that being said, I got one last thing to say. Rich out.